Right, welcome back everyone. We're cracking on with the Racing Metro. We've got a list of jobs to do. I'll stick them up on the screen so you can have a quick look of what I've put in, if you know what I mean. Trying to, like the final list that we need to accomplish before we go racing. If you watch any of my shorts, you'll see that we've got it up and running now. It's running okay-ish, but it do struggle to start still. I've tried messing with fueling and time and all that sort of stuff. I just can't get it to start up straight away, if that makes sense. So I'm going to leave that to the tuners when they go to do all the tuning and all that sort of stuff. And also the start stop button, I can't get it to work. So again, I'll leave that to the people who's going to tune it, and hopefully they can get it to work. I just can't get the keypad to communicate with the engine ECU. I tried doing all the coding, I've tried going on the forums and asking, and I'm doing everything that they've suggested, and I just can't get it to work. So I'll leave that to the people who hopefully is going to tune it. I've yet to contact them and book it in. That's going to be later on in the year, hopefully. But we've got a few other things that we need to do first. I would like to drive this just around the yard and down the estate and stuff like that, just to make sure everything's nice and happy. I have trailered it to the workshop now, so it is ready to be worked on, basically. But the first thing I need to do is we need to start it. I'll spin you around. We need to get it started, and we need to get this lovely yellow trophy off the ramp, and then we need to get the Metro on the ramp so we can secure some drive shaft clips, because I put 2 new front drive shaft joints in with brand new clips. But I guess when I had it on full lock trying to get it on and off the trailer, the clips just fell off, so we need to sort that out first. Right, hopefully I've charged the battery up. I have had it on charge, just letting everything warm up. And again, hopefully I've charged the battery enough. Right, let's make sure it's in neutral. Injectors, coil pack, fuel pump, start stop. Almost. Oh, waking up now. Oh. That will go eventually, I promise you. Let's turn that back off again. Sometimes that does that. But you can see what I mean by struggle to start, and I have only got a really small race battery. Again, hopefully when they sort the cold start out and do all the tuning, and yeah, I'm not really that good at that sort of stuff, if you know what I mean. I can muddle my way through it, you know, get it to a point, but getting it all finally done. Again, I'm hoping that when we drive it around the workshop, not around the workshop, but around the yard, around the estate, we might be able to fine tune some of the bits and pieces on it. But, you know, I don't know. We'll just have to see, basically. But the majority of it, I'm going to leave the tuner to get involved with that and sort that out for me. Because I could spend, well, I've already spent hours and hours and hours trying to sort things out on it, but yeah, I don't think it's waking up anymore. The little red battery lighters. This is going to be a whole video of just trying to get this started. Right, let me get it back on charge, and then while it's charging, we'll go through the list and hopefully I can tell you what the plans are. Right, we've got it on charge now. I've printed off my list. It's on a little sticky label thing, so I think I might just stick it there actually, so we can tick off as we go along. But we have got reprogram, stop start button, remap. Yeah, I'll leave that to the professionals. Let's get out of the way of the wind. Fuel level sensor. Now I've wired in the fuel level sensor. Again, we're going to have to empty the tank and then take a voltage reading, and then fill up the tank and take a voltage reading, and then hopefully we can program that into the dash somehow to give us a fuel readout on the dash. Again, I don't really need it, but while we're there, we might as well do it. You know, it's a handy thing to have, isn't it? Fire extinguisher nozzles. Now, I've done these ones in here. I've got one down here somewhere, which you can see the rivets for. I'm happy with that. But these ones here, I'm not really too happy with these. That one's not really pointing anywhere, and this one's all loose. So I think we're going to readdress that one. So we've got 3 in the engine bay, and then we have got to have 2 in here somewhere. So I was thinking about mounting them onto these little riv nut things, factory riv nuts. We've got our pipe here for the fire extinguisher, and the fire extinguisher is normally in here and plumbed into here, but I've had to nick that, shall we say, for the MGF race car for when I've done my race, because my one was out of date and only had a week to get it ready. So we've nicked that. So again, we're going to have to refit that. Well, I'm going to have to get it regassed first or reserviced, and then fit it. Harness bar. Basically, I'll try and show you through the window, but you can see I've got a bolt-in harness bar with a sliding joint there. Now, I'm not too comfortable in having that, just in case I do have an accident and either the plates break off or the bolts break off or the harness bar moved and the sliding joint come out. So I have contacted a local company and they are happy to weld in a harness bar. The only downfall is that I've just had all this cage powder coated, so obviously that's going to destroy that. If I've got time before the season, I might whip the cage out, send the back half for repowder coating and put it back in again. Roll cage padding, so yeah, we're going to have padding around the roll cage because that is a necessity. So down here, up here and along the head bar. And also a footrest plate. I've got a level footrest plate to go onto there to take all the unevenness out of the floor. Airbox, yeah, we need to fit an airbox because in the Metro Cup, I think air filters are free, so you can have a cone filter in there or an enclosed airbox in there. But I'm hoping on doing a couple of racers with the classic stock hatch, and you need a standard air box with a standard air filter in place. Relocate battery light. So to get the alternator working, you either have to have a resistor in between the wire, which I tried, but that got so hot I ended up just putting a little bulb light in there. Again, that just throws up the resistance and then kick starts the alternator to charge. That now works, but obviously I don't want it down here, do I? So I'll put a little plug in there. We'll do a little extension cable and we'll put it somewhere on the dash, somewhere where it's visible. What's the next? Two eyes. Yeah, I've got some nice new blue TRS tow ropes. I haven't got any on the front because I took them off, and I took the back one off near the exhaust because that was in the way, but this is one of the old original ones. So I've got 4 new tow straps to put on, and then we'll keep that one as a spare if we need to. Bonnet pins, again, when I put the new bonnet on, I still haven't put the bonnet pins back on. CV boot clips, which we're hopefully going to do. I don't know if you, there you go, look, you can just see that they've pinged off, so we're going to do that. Wideband sensor wiring. Now I've got the wideband on here on the exhaust, and there's loads of cable underneath, and then it comes up through here, but the bulkhead plug that's attached to the body, I've damaged the pin lock. So sometimes one of the pins come out. So I did have a 4.2, and then that went wrong almost immediately, so I've upgraded to a 4.9. I had to change some pins around and I damaged one of the pin locks, unfortunately. We have got the steering wheel to fit as well. I've ordered a quick release boss. I have already put a quick release boss and a steering wheel on this, but again I nixed that for the MGF race car when I put the carbon seat in. So I've got another boss so I can pop it out of that car and put it into this car, and I've got another steering wheel as well, which was the original steering wheel from the MGF. And yeah, don't worry lads, we're almost sorted. Rear wheel bearings, yeah, I've got some new wheel bearings to put on the back, and it looks like the whole car is sunk down on one side as well, so I think the hydro gas is leaking on this corner anyway, so we need to sort that out. Wiper arms and blades, at the minute it's got a full wiper motor, but it's only got one arm and one blade. Again, for regulations I need to have both wiper arms and both wiper blades in place. Oh, and the other thing we need to do with the fire extinguisher is mount the pull cords inside and outside. Again, I'm not too sure how to mount it on the inside as yet, because if I mount it to the dash, it's all still quite flimsy. It's just a cover basically. That's all it needs to be, just to say that I've got a dash in place. So it's a little bit loose, so I might have to make up some kind of bracket to house that, either coming off the original body of the car here, or maybe something off the floor around here somewhere. Not really too sure. I mean, I'm close enough, I can just squeeze the handles from the inside, can't I? So yeah, and last thing, I got some GTI side skirts as well, and the extra bit of trim on here if I wanted to put that on as well. So yeah, I've got a set of red GTI side skirts. So as you can see, red, white and blue. Red side skirts, blue things, red trims, blue belts. I know it's on a grey car, but we've got a little bit of white going on as well, haven't we? My wheels are white. My new wheels are white. The ones that I run on the Metro Cup, these are the classic stock hatch ones with the Toyos. The Metro Cup, I think they run out Avons, and I've got a fresh set of new wheels and tyres, which have been powder coated white, the same as the cage. That's also white. So yeah, plenty to do. We're just going to let this battery charge up for a little bit longer, and then hopefully we can get it started, get it out of the way, and get it onto the ramp. Well, it's been charging now for almost an hour. This is a little battery that I've got. It's one of the smallest ones that you can get hold of now. And although plenty of cranking power for this little engine, it only gives you a few tries before it dies, basically. And when it drops below 10 volts, it then cuts out all these, because these are voltage sensitive, shall we say. So go for another start up. Once it starts up relatively easily. Afterwards, it's just the initial start.
A little longer than a few minutes later.
Hey, we're running! Blimey, that was a mission, that was. I'll probably die straight away now. That should be idling about 1200 or that water temperature. Hopefully I'll sort itself out. Right, let's get the charger off and get it out of the way. Get that yellow one off and get it onto the ramp. Right, as we can see, the boot is come off and the clip has come off. Now what I think has happened, if I get this one out, is where I've crimped it, you can see it's not very flat, and where the band goes through on top, obviously you've got the hub, and I think it just caught on the hub and it's just pinged off both sides. Now I've already done this one, so I've put that new clip on and I've hammered the actual crimp bit flat as well. So now hopefully if I can spin it, it now clears just. Is that clearing? Yeah, it's just camera angle. That is clearing. Again, but that is clearing. We'll just have to wait and see, won't we? Can you get any better this way? Nah. But it is clearing, only by millimetres. But again, we'll just have to see how we get on. Obviously driving around the yard and around the estate, we'll soon hopefully pick it up. But let's crack on and do this one. As you can see, I've redone all the hubs, new upper ball joint, literally took the hubs apart, sandblasted them, and that is Hammerite Smooth Spray in satin black, new tie rod ends, new outer CV joint, new nut. So yeah, this whole area's had a bit of a work through, and again we'll have to do it on the rear as well, on the wheel bearings. So yeah, because obviously when we first, if you look back at the videos, we've got them in a little playlist, but you can see in the first video when we done the walk around on it, that there's play in all the wheel bearings. So yeah, I've done the front ones at home, but didn't get around to the back ones, so we'll crack on and do them another time. Right, let's get this other clip on, and then we'll come up with the next plan. And that is the other clip all now on and secured. I have turned it lock to lock and turned the wheel, and it doesn't seem to come off. So again, we'll soon find out when we take it down to, well, around the yard really, don't we? Let's see if that rears its head again. If not, we'll have to have another think about that. Next job, not really too sure, but it's been a while since I've been under here. Been crawling around underneath my garage floor looking at this, but I think the next job is going to have to be this O2 sensor cabling wire situation, because as you can see it's dangling down. It's not ideal, and I would like to clip this plug up against the chassis somehow as well, and then run the wire above the brake lines and then up to the plug there. So I think that is going to be the next job to do. Just need to see what type of clip that is to hold it in place. I think I might have to order a clip, but we can wire it in anyway, can't we? And then sort the rest out later on. Right, bit of a change of plan. I've decided that I'm going to pump up the suspension first on the back. This back left corner is hardly any pressure in whatsoever. Again, not knowing racing Metros very well, I don't know what type of pressure should be in it. The front is definitely too high because I've individualised it, although it was already individualised, but the pipes still went front to back and you had to pump up the front from the back. Now I've put the valves on the front canisters, we can pump up the front and take away the pipes, because again the last thing I want to do is hit a curb or something and it rubs through a pipe. So if we can eliminate that, then albeit good. Yeah, so we're just going to pump up the front, or the rear I should say, and then I will have to get it out off the ramp for a customer's car. So I'm just going to pump it up to 400. I've already done 400 on the right hand side. So yeah, we'll pump up to 400 PSI. If that'll go out far over. Couple more pumps, that should be there. Right. I think that will do. Just lock it off and then disconnect it. Push out the pipe, and then hopefully. And take the thing off. Right, now I can get it off the ramp, and I might even drive it around the yard, see if them clips pop on and off. Well, I've just taken it around, spinning the yard and down the estate, done some figure of eights and stuff, and it looks like them clips are still very much present in the correct locations on both sides. Zoom in on that one. There we go. So we'll call that a success. What wasn't a success was pumping up the suspension. Apparently that's got 400 psi in that one, and that's still pretty much on its arse. But this one is pretty much where it should be. So I think there's about 400 psi in the fronts here as well, but we'll have to recheck that. And obviously these are the pipes front and back. Again, if you hit a curb or something, or you go down a bumpy, come off track and hit some bumps, and rip that pipe off, then you've lost all your suspension. So trying to eliminate that by getting rid of it. And this is the new location where you fill it up from, just inside the bonnet. This one's a little bit tricky to get to, but you can get to it. You might have to remove the coolant bottle tank, expansion tank thing, but it's what it is. I'd rather that than how often do you pump up the suspension. I'm not that advanced that I need to account for every PSI in the suspension, so yeah, we'll see how it goes anyway. I don't know what to do next, to be honest with you. I think that's pretty much what's gonna do it for today for me. So I will, when I decide I'm going to do some more work on it, I'll then decide what would be the best thing to do. So yeah, I'll leave it here for now. Don't worry, at the end of the video, I'll continue the video on, but for me, working on it would be the end for today. So next time I pick up the camera, I will decide what the next course of action will be. But in the meantime, we can tick that one off the list.